And coming up next, we have Cathy Coyle. And Cathy holds a master's in applied psychology from University College Cork, Ireland. And she's currently studying for a PhD in transpersonal psychology with the California Integral Institute. She shares that she was on the path towards becoming a clinical psychologist when a spontaneous mystical experience diverted her onto the road of shamanic initiation. So now Cathy is an indigenous Bandri, a Gaelic wise woman, and her company, Dree, is built upon a merging of modern psychology with ancient nature-based traditions. In her work, she leads individuals through visionary journeys, combined with nature vigils and wild spaces, as well as working as a transpersonal coach supporting people through spiritual emergence. She has apprenticed under Celtic shamanic teachers, using practices such as tree shamanism, herbalism, trance journeying, and mushroom medicine. Cathy identifies as a practitioner of witchcraft and is passionate about educating people on indigenous shamanic traditions of the women of Western Europe and supporting a return to local folk practices and feminine esoteric arts. So today she offers transformational retreats in Cape Town, South Africa and Cork, Ireland. Her retreats combine breathwork, nature quests, embodiment practices, and entheogenic medicines. She's also the host of a new podcast, Meet Me in the Mushroom, which is housed on the Awake.net platform. Just one thing you can do on the Awake.net platform of many. And they explore a range of issues from psychiatry, ethics, and integration to occultism and shamanism, self-healing, the hero's dose psychic journey, tantra, yoga, and mindfulness. You can see more about her work at cathycoyle.com. And we are very pleased today to invite Cathy to our stage.
Thank you, Lex. Wow, I'm just beyond. I'm a little bit speechless even to be sitting here and hearing Rick Doblin speak and Jeffrey Kamlet and Talia's story and Lakshmi, and to be here sitting with my mentor, Shauna Home. It's just a huge, huge privilege, and everybody else that's on the board. I'm so honored. And I'm here in Cape Town, so it's 11 p.m. at night here. It's very windy and dark outside, so I'm really happy to be coming in with expanding beyond just the United States, expanding out into the wider global community, because there are so many of us in the entheogenic community that have a lot to say and have a lot to offer each other. And I guess my space within awake.net with the podcast that I'm hosting, Meet Me in the Mushroom, is to be a voice for, as Jeffrey said, as Lakshmi touched on, to be a voice for nature traditions, to be a voice that there are other ways outside of addiction treatment, therapeutic practices. There are indigenous practices and nature-based traditions that involve these plant medicines, and they really need a voice now, because we spoke the figures about how much money is being invested and all of the privatization as part of the clinic, as the renaissance, the psychedelic renaissance, which is absolutely incredible. But there's a lot of danger zones here. The synthesization of psilocybin, this is something that makes me personally quite uncomfortable, because I have an intimate relationship with this consciousness. I understand how it wants to interact with humans, to support them, guide them, heal, awaken, all of that, which is contained within the most perfect creation of the psilocybin mushroom. So women as well, female voices that are coming from this type of practicum, that are dedicating their lives to reconnecting to nature, I think that's a really important bridge. And with the podcast, I'm so excited because I'm trying to create a narrative, because within all spectrums, there has to be ethics. So even within my craft, my practice, and the other individuals I know who work in a more shamanistic way with various plant medicines, there are serious issues with ethics. There is serious issues with the like the ability of the guide, you know, what is their background, what is their training, how much work have they done with the plant that they're holding. Just like a clinical therapist, as Rick Doblin mentioned earlier, needs to understand the substance that they're holding and able to hold space properly. And so we're creating dialogue so that various practitioners can come together, that we can create a space for mentors and masters, so we can create dialogue and that we can keep each other in check ultimately, that we can mentor and guide and find peer support for each other. If I hadn't had the support I have from Shauna and other teachers that I work with, I could have very easily gotten lost or overwhelmed in my development as a mushroom medicine woman. But we're building community, we're building conversation, we're building space. And I'm really, really passionate also about Indigenous voices, different cultural voices, different community voices. How are different people in different pockets of societies working with various psychedelic substances, everything from recreationally to psychospiritually? And I'm here in Cape Town, and it's a really diverse community here. And I'm so blessed to work a lot with people from the Khoisan and learn about their herbalism and understand how that can support me as I'm working with mushroom, and how I can use that to support others as they're preparing their bodies, or what plants can help people integrate from this big experience, because it does affect the nervous system. It affects the nervous system, it affects the body. It's a lot of chi when you're going into this type of space. So how do we help understand the path of the wise woman or the herbalist also as a support for preparation and integration for psychedelic journeys? And so Meet Me in the Mushroom has a broad range of very, very interesting, very diverse people. We've already filmed 6 episodes that are going to be launching. We're going to be launching with the first episode, which is an interview with myself. And from there, I'm interviewing British occultists. I'm interviewing Afro-Caribbean medicine men and Bushmen and tobacco medicine women from Peru, and understanding how does tobacco come in as an ally if you're preparing for plant medicine work, and educating people on these things, the non-psychotropic elements as well, and how they all weave into a grid and a network of support, because this I think is an essential conversation. And I am so grateful to awake.net that they are willing, that everybody here is willing to hold space for this level of conversation, and that there is a respect within it, that our backgrounds, our credentials, our knowledge as psychonauts is what has brought us here. And we're meeting each other on an equal playing field. There is no hierarchy within this space. And so I really encourage everybody that's watching this evening to, get involved. This is something really special at a time when we really need to come together in global community, not just our local communities with people we see, but in global communities, because this is the technology age. This is the age of Aquarius. So how do we reclaim the technologies? How do we reclaim the conversation? Because the conversation has been hijacked, and we are here to be a voice and say, no, this is not okay. This is how things are supposed to be. This is how nature has intended it. This is how science can merge with nature and merge with integrity and merge with truth, so that we can all move forward together. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited. So thank you. Thank you all for having me. Thank you for giving me the space to speak from my heart, and yeah, to speak to you from Africa tonight. Thank you.